I've been sitting at KitGuru's Mission Control watching Jensen's NVIDIA CES 2025 keynote, and we've learned a lot about Blackwell. And I have notes. The opening note is that Gary Shapiro, who introduced Jensen to the stage, appears to have no ability to say the word NVIDIA. That was a surprise.
Yes, and I am so thrilled to kick off this show with a keynote by one of the most consequential companies in the world, NVIDIA. But over the past 3 decades, he has established NVIDIA as a force. Today, NVIDIA is pioneering breakthroughs in AI and accelerated computing. Thanks to his leadership, NVIDIA's innovations enable advanced chatbots.
Once we got over that moment, we saw Jensen's new jacket.
Welcome to CES!
In fairness to Jensen, he was playing up to the jacket theme and asked us whether or not we liked it.
Do you like my jacket?
And then we rapidly got onto the topic of the new DLSS 4, which creates 3 new frames for every 1 fully rasterized frame.
No computer graphics researcher, no computer scientist would have told you that it is possible for us to ray trace every single pixel at this point. Ray tracing is a simulation of light. The amount of geometry that you saw was absolutely insane. It would have been impossible without artificial intelligence.
After that, it was time for NVIDIA RTX Blackwell, a monster chip which, as per the rumors, has 92 billion transistors. And then we saw Jensen holding the new GPU. The 5090 is physically quite tiny. It's a dual slot graphics card in Founders Edition.
Our brand new GeForce RTX 50 series Blackwell architecture. The GPU is just a beast. 92 billion transistors, 4,000 TOPS, 4 petaflops of AI.
Pricing falls exactly in line with our expectations, where the RTX 4090 costs $1,600, the 5090 costs $2,000, the RTX 5080 is $1,000, the 5070 Ti is $749, looks like that'll be a Founders Edition only model, the 5070 is $549, and the graphics power delivery for those models, 5090 is 575 watts, 5080 is 360 watts, 5070 Ti is 300 watts, 5070 250 watts. Jensen very briefly mentioned 50 series laptops, and he pointed out getting a huge graphics card inside a tiny laptop is very difficult, and naturally that comes down to AI. And as we also know, it comes down to capping the power. The 5090 inside a laptop is nothing like the 5090 in a desktop graphics card. At this point, Jensen started having fun, and as he was talking about the NVLink 72 system, he was holding what looked like a shield of GPU chips. In essence, it was a wafer, and probably rather heavy. Then he used that shield to show us the layout of the NVLink 72, pointing to the various components. To close the keynote, Jensen pulled out, and here's something else moment, a smaller DGX that's called Project Digits. This is powered by a chip called GB110, made by MediaTek. It is currently in production and will go on sale in May of 2025, i.e. but a few months away. This looks exactly like a regular mini PC and is priced apparently at $3,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is NVIDIA's latest AI supercomputer.
And my takeaway from NVIDIA's keynote are these few points. Number 1, in their keynote, AMD completely skipped any mention of RDNA 4, even though we've been briefed on RDNA 4 and other products before CES. It's like they just went scared and decided to wait until they'd seen what NVIDIA had to say before they decided to talk about their own graphics. There might be some other explanation, but that's how it looks to me. For NVIDIA, their frame generation technology, DLSS 4, is of critical importance. People are going to talk about real frames or smoothing, basically what is the impact of DLSS. It is going to be quite clearly essential that reviewers are crystal clear which technology they are using or not using during their reviews. If you see a frame rate of 50 FPS, 100 or 200 at a certain resolution, at a certain image quality, frame generation is going to play a very large part in the equation. Thankfully, the pricing is merely painful rather than terrible. I do look forward to seeing how much Asus particularly decides to charge for whichever model, ROG Strix no doubt, that they come up with for 5090. I imagine that'll be like $2,500, which does sound somewhat painful. So, NVIDIA has officially started CES 2025 with Blackwell, and now we can all get on with our lives and build new PCs.